This might not look like much. It's an early 2000s laptop. It's a Compaq Presario 700. If you're familiar with it, it has that typical 2000s Compaq styling, which you either love or hate. I love, especially on the Presarios. This machine, pretty decent for the time. AMD Athlon 4, 1.2 gigahertz, 240 megabytes of RAM, and a 20 gigabyte hard drive. It did what it needed to do for me at the time. It got me through high school. It got me through LAN parties. It got me through most of my freshman year of college until I upgraded to this Lenovo T60, which we'll be doing another video on later on. But I still love this machine for a lot of reasons. It's sentimental. So I just want to do a little love letter to it, give it an upgraded hard drive, as well as upgrade the RAM in this thing. I really hope you enjoy this.
Well, she's not the prettiest thing, but remember, she is 21 years old. I remember the time I narrowed my search down to this Presario as well as a Dell Inspiron 8000 series. It might have been the Pentium 4 at the time. In hindsight, that would have been a better long-term option. Hot swappable drive bays, better configuration. I'd still like to get my hands on an Inspiron of that era, but I just have a soft spot for this Presario styling. Right up front, we see the JBL Pro audio badge. Sounds pretty decent for a laptop of its age. Because the grill goes the whole way around the front, it actually sounds pretty good with the screen closed. And there was a lot of times I would just have this play a Winamp playlist, close the screen, and let it go in the corner. The trackpad is all right. The buttons are a little smushy, but it was an early 2000s laptop. That oval below the trackpad is the easy scroll button, which was nice to be able to scroll up and down, left and right. Above the keyboard, we see the typical Compaq easy access buttons. One touch will take you to a browser, email, search, as well as control the volume up and down. These buttons can be reprogrammed using some of the Compaq software. On the right side of the machine, we see the microphone and headphone jack, as well as the DVD-ROM and CD burner. The left side, we see our security lock, our PC card slot. This is for type 1, 2, or 3. It looks like you can fit 2 in here, but you can only fit 1 on the bottom. The giveaway is that single button to the left of it for eject. And of course, our floppy drive. The back of the machine is interesting. All of the ports are hidden under a door, which surprisingly hasn't broken off yet. To the left of the door, we have our AC power jack, and inside the door, we have a blank covering a 1394 port. Some models had this port. I don't remember it being an option. And then we have our S-Video out VGA parallel port, PS2 for keyboard or mouse, and 2 USB jacks. To the right of that, we have our Ethernet as well as our modem. I'll be upgrading the RAM and hard drive for this machine. I have a 256 megabyte stick of PC133 RAM. I didn't get a 512 since the manual states the motherboard can only see 384 megs, and it already has 240 megs on board, although I think it'll actually see more. We'll find that out. Our hard drive replacement is the run-of-the-mill mSATA SSD, and that's going to be paired with an mSATA to IDE adapter. These can be found very cheaply on Amazon or other retailers, and they're really great storage solutions for older machines. That way you can easily pull that mSATA out, add or remove programs on it, and it just gives you a much higher level of reliability than spinning drives or even some of the previously used Compaq flash to IDE adapters. Swapping the hard drive out is super easy, very similar to other laptops of the day. This is in the bottom right hand side, held together by 4 screws in this caddy. Take the old one off, throw the new mSATA adapter in, super easy. Top right hand corner we have the RAM, just pop that in. Luckily I had all 3 of the Compaq Quick Restore CDs. Without this I wouldn't be able to get it back to factory fresh. This whole process takes about 14 or 15 minutes, but I kept running into some interesting issues at the end.
Now, the Compaq Quick Restore was not quick in this case. Usually it takes about 14 minutes. This would always fail at 13 minutes. And for whatever reason, it would fail when we had a solid state drive in here. Anytime I put a spinning drive, it would work. So I don't know if there's some sort of software check that it's looking, or maybe a timing issue, but it would always fail. So what I had to do is I would install it on a good 20 gigabyte drive that I had, and I just made an image of that, and then that went in on a partition on the solid state drive. So we have our 20 gigabyte drive here, which contains Windows, and then I have an extended drive with the additional 100 gigabytes that is on that solid state drive. So that gives us the full 120 gigabytes. And now with our extra stick of RAM in here, we have 496 megs of RAM with 120 gigabytes of storage ready to go. And outside of that additional partition, this is what you would get when you had a fresh install from Compaq. It's Presario 700. So we have some bloatware, some interesting things, Microsoft Works, Microsoft Money, programs I haven't thought about in years. Of course, we get America Online 6, which won't work right now, even though this is plugged in to my internet. That's not going to work right now. We have CompuServe, the exact same story right there. Not going to work. But it's nice to have these programs. I'm going to clean up some of this bloatware, but I am probably going to keep CompuServe and AOL just for the memories. Other than that, it comes pretty decent out of the box. It's going to have what you need. Like I said, Microsoft Works to get going. It does come with InterVideo WinDVD. This is how I've watched a lot of DVDs back in the day when I got this. So right now I'm going to clean up some of this bloatware, and we're going to kind of get this back to the condition that it would have been when I used this system 20 years ago. All right, this is very similar to how I would rock this laptop back in the day. Of course, I have my screensaver as wallpaper. I got Winamp always up, and I always have AOL Instant Messenger up. And you can instant message me right now at RTOD or Mike A360. These still work. I did a video about AIM, using AIM in a modern instance today, still using the original software, but a different backend. So you can instant message me when I'm on. And that kind of leads into the second thing I'm going to use with this laptop, is mostly on the old web. So we have the old Compaq website here, and all of this is coming through ProtoWeb. I've showed this before, but I really think that this laptop would just be great to use ProtoWeb. Basically, ProtoWeb is you change your proxy, tell your browser to redirect somewhere else, and ProtoWeb has 1,097 web pages rebuilt just like they were back in the day. Let's see what we got here. Old Napster, wonder what year this is from. Oh, Napster 2.0. And a lot of these actually use FTP, so you can go and download files from the old websites. But the real reason I want to show ProtoWeb right now, and I'm a big fan of this, and I really want to do another video revisiting ProtoWeb, is because, let's get down, Shoutcast. If you remember Shoutcast back in the day, this was huge. It allowed you to listen to internet radio. So, and they rebuilt it. So we can go back on here. So let's look at something here. I mean, we're not going to listen to a lot of it because we're going to get content hit. So here's smooth jazz, bass smooth jazz. So we'll hit tune in. Of course, Netscape's going to say, hey, what do you want to do with this? Probably should have had this programmed in already. Yep. Open. Okay. And there we go. All right, that's enough of that because we don't want to get a content match. But I'm going to use this machine to listen to Shoutcast on Winamp in 2022, just like I did in 2001. How cool is that? And they're going to have more. Right now we got 25 stations. This is something that they are actively working on. The ProtoWeb team is small. I don't even have the correct banners up here, right? But the ProtoWeb team is very small, but they are definitely a quality over quantity group of people. The websites look and feel and operate just like they did back in the day. If you want, you can go download Bonsai Buddy. Maybe we will. Maybe we'll see if we can crash this Windows XP machine. But it's not all going to be streaming and the old internet. I'm going to be playing some old games on this machine. This is really going to be a workhorse for myself and something for my kids to play some of these old games. It's nice to get this machine running again the way it was, because let's be honest, a lot of these old machines still have a lot of life left in them, and you just need to give them a little bit of love and they'll last you another 20 years. So, well, we're going to close this video out because I'm probably going to install Roller Coaster Tycoon and play that with my son. So really hope you enjoyed this. Look to see this machine in the future, and if you're on AOL Instant Messenger, shoot me an IM, RTOD or Mike A360. As always, thanks for watching. One more thing, because this is really exciting and I just found this out. But if you go to weather.com, not realweather.com, weather.com in ProtoWeb, it works. And it doesn't work just like the other websites. It works like it should. So let's go to New Hampshire. And the way this worked back in the day is you'd pick your state and then you pick the closest city. So I'm on the seacoast, so we're going to look at Portsmouth. I'm filming this on the 27th of November, 2022. So even though this is the old version of the website, it's pulling forecast data right now. This is actually the weather today. This is actually the weather for this week. How cool is that?